Well, hey everybody, this is Lena from Just a Little Bit Country, and boy, is it bright out here on this back porch. What? Anyway, I went to Roller Weight Loss Clinic today, and I'm sure some of y'all know by now that I have broke my foot. I broke it the 13th of July. Thought it was just bruised, but finally gave up and went to the emergency room on the 28th of July, and they were like, "Oh well, it's not broken. It's just bruised. Bad sprain, right?" Well, the next day, I got called back from the same emergency room, Baptist Health, and the guy said, "Oh, somebody else looked at the thing and told me that your foot is fractured. You need to go to your primary care physician." So I got an appointment for the 1st of August, and I went to my PCP, and I didn't get the actual doctor. I got the nurse practitioner, who kept telling me that, well, orthopedics isn't going to do nothing for you. At that point, I was in one of those like sandal brace shoes that the hospital gave me. And I said, well, being as I have clubfoot and you're not an actual doctor for foot people and for the feet, I want a referral to orthopedic clinic. So she said, okay, she'd give me one. Well, when the paperwork came to me, it had a 314 number on it, and I was like, well, that's not even an Arkansas number. Now, mind you, it was about 4 days later before I got this piece of paper. So I call it, and it's Missouri. And she's like, are you in Van Buren, Missouri? I said, no, I'm in Huntington, Arkansas, and my clinic's in Van Buren, Arkansas. She said, well, I don't know why why they referred the paperwork up here. We don't handle anybody except for Missouri patients. I said, I'm aware. I wasn't trying to be referred to Missouri. This is where this dumb bitch sent me, right? Anyway, I called my clinic back and said, I don't know what her problem is, but she needs to refer me to an Arkansas orthopedic doctor. My Medicaid won't pay for out of state. Oh, I think you're mistaken. I said, I know I'm not mistaken. Look on the damn paperwork that just come across the portal. It's Missouri. Well, anyway, she turned around. She finally said she sent one to the Arkansas one. So about a day later, I was like, fuck this shit. So I called the orthopedic clinic myself, got the appointment set up, and so my first appointment was set for I believe it was the 12th of August before I actually got into orthopedics. And my foot is broken, or they use the word fractured. And they put me in a boot and told me to come back in 6 weeks, which would be, at this point, the appointment that I've got set for the 30th of September is like 2 weeks after the 6 week point. That's all I could get. But anywho, in amongst all that, I don't sleep with this boot on at nighttime. So the dog needed to go potty, and my husband was sick and didn't feel like getting up. So I got up without the boot on, went outside to put the dog out. Dog was down on the ground, and the stupid cat decided she just had to jump over the dog fence, and I didn't want her to get eaten because the dog would eat her. So I kind of stepped off the porch part going from inside the house to the outside on the porch, grabbed the cat, threw her over the fence, and however I stepped at that point, all I heard was crack, and I was screaming on the porch for my son, for somebody. And my son and my grandson at 5 o'clock in the morning heard me before anybody else did, and they come and got me off the porch. The next day I went to the emergency room again, because I was pretty sure I injured it even worse. Well, they came in with an x-ray machine. And mind you, I hadn't seen the doctor at all. They came in and they x-rayed it and they left. And a few minutes later, the doctor comes in. He doesn't touch my foot, doesn't look at me, doesn't say anything except for, are they done with you? I said, they did an x-ray and went that way with it. He doesn't say anything else to me. He leaves the room. Not even 5 seconds later, here comes a lady with discharge papers. And I was like, is the doctor going to examine my foot or anything? Oh, you've just irritated your already fractured foot. Well, see, I'd like to see the x-rays because, I know where the orthopedic doctor showed me it was broke. What if it's broke at another spot now? And these dumbasses just wouldn't show me the x-rays, right? So anyway, I got a hold of my orthopedic people, and they said, well, there's really nothing we can do. If it is, you'd still be in a boot. Just make your 6-week appointment and come into that, and we'll go from there. So my appointment's set for September the 30th. Well, today was my roller weight loss clinic appointment, so I went into that, and so I weigh 255 pounds. The boot probably weighs a good 5 pounds. So the other day when my scale read it at 246, it was wrong. Anyway, because nothing counts except for roller weight loss clinic's scale. They could be 10 pounds off, and only their scale is going to count in this journey, okay? So we're at 250 pounds plus a 5-pound boot puts me at 255. My nutrition was really good on there. I found out that I can take my regular iron 30 plus vitamin C pills. It don't have to just be the chewable. So that means I've got more of those than I thought I had. I did buy the chewable ones today. It cost me $10.95 at Roller. I do need to buy the calcium and, citrate and some prebiotic and stuff that I'm running out of, but that won't be today. I had blood work done. I forgot that it was a fasting lab, and I had a meal replacement shake, but she said it didn't matter, so she went ahead and did it anyway. I guess the labs will come back from Quest Lab eventually. I'm always going to be anemic, so iron's always going to be a thing. Chair exercises is all I'm able to do, and that's for upper body. Can't walk. Apparently I can't walk and talk and chew gum at the same time. I break my legs, right? Or break my feet. Of course, the orthopedic doctor told me that it was inevitable. It was going to happen anyway because of my age and the fact that I'm club-footed. That eventually one of these feet were going to break. And I thought, well, damn, couldn't it have happened before the weight loss surgery? Why after? But anyway, we have to wait now and see what orthopedics is going to say on the 30th, whether they're going to do surgery or they're just going to try to let me heal naturally in this boot for another who knows how long, right? But nutritionist said I was doing well with my eating habits and my vitamins and this, that, and the other. And, it's a little setback on losing weight because of this thing on my foot. So I go back to them, Roller, on December the 18th, which will be my 9-month checkup. No, I did not get carbs back today because of the fact that I'm in this boot. She doesn't want me to get carbs back, and because, I'm at a point in time where I can't really exercise. So she said we'd talk about carbs at my 9-month appointment. That means no fruit, technically, and no bread, nothing like that, right? So, anyway. Doesn't really want me drinking the Premier Protein shakes because they're not whey isolate. She says it won't go down my stomach very well. But I'm not paying $45 for a Roller weight loss clinic meal replacement shake. I may have to get the whey isolates for $25 at Walmart, but I'm not paying $45 for a half a pound when I can get one for $25 for a good almost 3 pounds, right? But anyway, everything went well at the clinic today. So my next appointment will be with orthopedics on the 30th. Anyway, everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you later. By the way, I'm having a coffee. And my son did fix me a hamburger patty with some cheese on top. And I put a little can of tuna next to it. And he had me some roasted carrots, and that's what I had for lunch when we got back. And I need to drink some more water, Sometimes it's hard for me to get my whole 64 ounces of water in a day. I got in 70 yesterday, but that's not an everyday occurrence. Sometimes I really have to push myself to get all that water in. But other than that, I do think I'm going to color my hair tonight. Go back to being a redhead. I'm tired of being gray. Oh, yes, and my husband insisted that he buy me a brand new nightgown last night. So, I got a 2X nightgown. I had been in a 4X. So, yay! I got a new nightgown last night. All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye.